Okay, so I've had a boyfriend most of my life. A husband, something, always around. I don't stay single very long, but I'm picky. And everyone I've ever dated, I haven't always let have access to my body. And I mean that with the most emphasis in the world on that. Um, most men had to wait 3 to 6 months to touch my body if they dated me. And a lot of them did. And they were good with that. And they weren't mad. They waited. Now, when I was young and I had my first one, I asked him for an STD test because he was a hoe. God, I knew he was a hoe. The reason why he would mess with me is because, see, my brother didn't go to the county he lived in and, mess around. So he didn't know my brother. So I had to go out of counties that my brother went to go find boyfriends. Which is really messed up, but really, really funny because I've actually never dated most of the guys around where I've lived. I've always went to different counties, different circles, different areas to date men. Most of them didn't know who my brother was, is the only way I would date them. Because my brother thinks that he's Mr. Wool Bad Ass, and boy don't know I can take his ass out if I really wanted to. Actually, he does. That's why he doesn't let me come to his house. And he threatened to call police if I shut up his house. So yeah, he does. Never mind. Anyways, he used to threaten everybody that knew him that if they touched me, he'd whoop their ass. Well, like I said, my first one, I asked for an STD test. I wouldn't touch him with that one. Well, he never got one, so he never got it. My next few boyfriends were very short-lived. Like, there was no nothing. There wasn't nothing there, like, until I got with the first one that, after I got pregnant. There was nothing there at all. I had problems, let me put it that way. I'm not normal. I'm different. Very, very different. I have to have emotional in order for me to get off any emotional or very sexual attraction to you. Like, very. And I was attracted to them to a certain point, but I wasn't attracted to them to the point in which I could, So, my first one when I was pregnant was my first actual, yeah. And that blew my mind. And when I started with that, I stayed with him because I thought it was him. Even though he beat my ass, I thought it was him. That's the reason why I was. Yeah, I learned differently after a couple of years. But like I said, I still went back to him and tried again in our own house. Because we were never in our own house when we tried the first time. And when I tried again, we both were different at that point. We both been through a lot more by that point. It was 2 years difference, or a year, something like that. It wasn't just like 6 months, jump right back into it. It wasn't. It was time in between. And in between that time, now, I had fun. I ain't gonna lie. So did he, though. He got a new girlfriend. He did what he did. I did what I did. And when we got back together, well, we didn't talk about what we did. Other than the fact that my second child could be his or the person's that actually was. Only because we did something and then I did something with someone else soon after. And I started messing with him instead of messing with my ex. We just had a one night, like, fling thing just to see if it was there. And it wasn't. I was not. No. It was actually the worst I ever had with him. So I don't know how I went back after. Because it got better after I went back to him. We had our own house, but we also weren't in our own house. And it was, something was off when we did it. So I started messing with somebody else. And I stayed messing with him through his pregnancy for the most part. At 4 months pregnant with his child, I poured blood. Like, my water broke. And I rushed to the hospital, and they checked me, and it ended up stopped bleeding, thank God. And they're like, well, what were you doing? And I was like, well, I kind of had fun with somebody. And I had a regular fuck buddy at that time. I wasn't fucking with anybody else. I was just fucking my fuck buddy. And they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, I was doing that. You know, we got done. I sat up, and there it went. And so the rest of the pregnancy, I wouldn't touch no one but him. Just out of respect and the fact that I can't go without. I don't do well without. I've been celibate more than once for long periods. And when I'm celibate, I am focused on something higher than myself, which is God. I ain't gonna lie. But when I'm not focused on God, it's like that's my drug of choice at times. But that's the way I feel myself. I guess you could say. Like, I don't know. My parents are both sex addicts, so I guess it got handed down. My father has cheated on every woman he's ever been with that I know about. I've only known 2 of the women he's been with, which is my mother and my stepmother. And I've heard stories, including the fact that he left my mother for his mistress. That was my stepmom. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, come on now. But my mother has a high sex drive, and we've talked about it more than once. So, when I was with certain men and they would hold their dick from me, I learned not to want it anymore. Instead of them making me want it more, they made me not want them or their dick anymore. Like, you make me live without you or your package. You teach me how to live without you or your package. Like, you giving it to me once a week and then thinking you're doing something with it. No, you ain't. Because I'm not even getting off most of the damn time. And I ain't tell you I'm not getting off. I might nut, but I ain't having orgasm, so I'm not getting off. And there is a big difference in a woman having a nut and an orgasm. Big difference. And so when you start holding your package away from your woman, you're a dick. Because you guys claim that all women hold their shit from men. No, we don't. Not all women do. I don't tell a man no. I can be having the worst migraine in my life, be sick off my fucking ass, have a UTI, and still roll over and say, yeah, let's do it. Yes, I know I'm different. Yes. But that's the thing. Some of us are that way. Or let me at least please you because I can't be pleased myself today. Like, there is a difference in some women. And there's a difference in some men. Some men act like they the prize and their dick is a prize. And because you want it, they're going to hold over your head. Well, y'all keep doing that shit and y'all going to keep learning. These women don't need it then. We're going to find better. And there's better out there. Because the best I ever had was recently. And the older I get, the better the people who I mess with get. Because I know I like them, I don't like now. And some of them listen. And some of them I ain't got to tell shit to. They just watch my body and I'm like, ooh, that's fucked up. But enjoyable. So, I mean, y'all act like y'all the prize, man. Y'all ain't the prize. It says when you find a wife, you find a good thing. Not when you find a husband, you find a good thing. A husband should not be alone. No. But you should be caretaking your wife instead of your mistress. There's a difference because most time when y'all hold your dick away, y'all messing with somebody else. And that's not fair to the person who actually lays next to you every night and makes sure you're good every fucking day. The one who shows up when you get in a fucking car wreck and then goes and empties out your damn car in the hot ass goddamn heat because your ass at fucking work and can't do it. Get your car towed and pays the fucking money out of her damn money, not yours. You still didn't reimburse her. That kind of woman. The good kind of woman. The one that you should be protecting, not abusing.